Hey everybody, hope all y'all having a good day today. I'm out here at the new house in Bonifacio. It's coming along great. Probably about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks it's going to be finished. So looking forward to moving in out here. It's so much cooler here and got a lot more shade. So it's very nice. When I was probably, I don't know, maybe 17, 18 years old, I read the very first book that I chose to read. I volunteered to read it. I wasn't told I had to read it because it was a school project or something. But I read this book because I wanted to, and it was the autobiography of Chuck Yeager. Chuck Yeager was a famous, amazing test pilot. He broke the speed of sound. He was the first to do that. I think the rocket plane that he flew was the X-1, and I loved his autobiography, you know, the story of his life and some of the things he said. You know, it went from his youth through World War II and all of that. It was an amazing story. I read it several times, over and over, and you know, I never met him in person, but I couldn't imagine if I would have ran up to him, you know, while he was still here, and ran up to him and just grabbed him and hugged him and said, "Oh man, I love you. I love you. I know all about you. I know everything there is to know about you." He would have pushed me away and said, "Who are you? I don't know you. I mean, well, I've read everything about you. I know you. I know you." And he'd be like, "No. You read about some things that I did, and you read about some things that I said, but you don't know me." This is what Jesus was trying to tell the Pharisees when he told them. He said, "You think because you have those scriptures," he said, "you search those scriptures, you search them, looking, you think that you have eternal life in them." He said, "You think because you have those and you search through them and you read them every day that you have eternal life." He said, "But you got to come to me to have eternal life." He said, those scriptures only talk about me, but you don't know me. You have to come to me. Remember, it's also written, it says, "This is eternal life, to know him, to know Christ." Remember, Jesus said, you know, you don't want to be one of those where he says, "Away from me, I never knew you." And that word "know" and "knew" that is used there in the Greek, the original language that was written in, that is a particular kind of know, and it means an intimate knowing. Remember when Mary was, Gabriel come to Mary and he told her, he said, "You're going to have a child," and she said, "But I haven't known a man." It's like a sexually intimate know. I haven't known a man. It's the same word that Jesus used when he says, "Away from me, I never knew you." I didn't intimately know you. You may knew things about me. You may knew things that I said, but you never came to me and know me. I see so many doctrines, you know, that people build, and their whole life is around these doctrines. You know, they eat, sleep, and drink these doctrines, and they do everything in the world to protect their doctrines. And whenever someone like me comes around and tries to talk to them and tell them, "Hey, you got to know God," you know, you're talking to them because of personal experience, how that personal knowledge of God changed your life forever. They'll hold on to those doctrines and fight you so much for it. It's so hard to come to know Christ and get your cup filled by Christ whenever your cup is already filled. You'll never hear me boast about anything. I never did anything to deserve God's grace and his mercy that he had on me on the night of June 14th, 2012. I have no idea to this day why he answered me. Why did he call me? I have no idea why. All I know is that whenever I responded, that I was touched and just overwhelmed by this amazing love that human words or it's hard to use human words to describe it, and it changed me forever. I didn't have to do anything. It was just because this touch of love. All of that old me went away, but I was willing to let the old me go away. That's why Jesus said, you got to lose your life to find life. So I give up my life. I give up my way and accepted the way, his way. And most people aren't ready for that yet. You've got to be ready. See, I was at my broken point. I was broke, couldn't get any lower, had nowhere else to go, was drowning, knew I was dying. God knew I was ready. My heart was ready. See, most people aren't ready to let go of their life. They're still holding on to all these things in this world. They want to keep their life. They're not ready to lose it, and so they'll go back to reading that autobiography over and over and over, searching them, looking for ways to come to eternal life without having to give up their life. And I will never sit here and tell you that it's a sacrifice and it's something that's hard to do, because it's not. I have no kind of sacrifice. This is a life that I willingly accept. I'm probably as far away from my old home as you can physically get in this realm. I'm almost 10,000 miles away from Texas. I would have never in a million years dreamed this would be my life, but it is, and it's an amazing life. I had to give up a lot of things. Even though we got a new house and everything, we don't have hot water here. We don't have central heat and air. Every other day we have water. Every other day the water's turned off here. It's just the way it is here. There's struggles here all the time. There's mosquitoes everywhere. I'll never complain. I love it, because I know where I would be if I weren't here. I would either be dead or in prison right now. It's only because of that touch from God that I'm here now, living eternal life now, because I know God. Remember, this is eternal life, to know God. God is eternal, and when you know eternal and eternal is living within you, you're taking part of that now. So I don't want anybody to think, you're saying you got to work, you got to sacrifice and give up all this stuff. No, trust me. Whenever you encounter love, when you're ready, when you're tired of this world, when you're tired of trying to fit in, that hand will come down to save you and pull you out of that water. When you're ready, when you'll give up all that stuff, because you'll know what real life is. And most people, they'll go back. I'm going to keep reading this autobiography. I'm going to keep reading it over and over and over and over and over again. I recently seen some preachers posting some stuff on Facebook, and one was asking, how can anyone, say that you're saved and you can still just act and do anything you want to do, but because you believe, you're saved. First of all, people get that thing wrong about being saved. They think you're being saved from hell. That word in Greek means healed. It just means you're healed from a religious mindset. You're healed from, you've basically been disconnected from this world. You no longer view this world the same anymore, You see it for what it really is, okay? But they, he was saying, how can anybody say that? And then people started throwing John 3:16 at him and Ephesians 2:8, and And people were saying, it's by by faith, grace through faith. I'm saved. And what people don't understand is that whenever you come to know God, when God is love, all right, whenever you experience that, you grab hold of that. It's written about, you grab a hold to that, because that's your lifesaver, and God's timing is perfect. And whenever He comes to you and offers you His hand, you will take it. There's no way you can refuse it. And once He takes hold of you and you experience His love, you become a beloved. I'll show you a verse on that in Jude, what that means. Once you become a beloved, trust me, you will never, ever let go of Him, and He will never, ever let go of you. You won't be the same person anymore. You're not going to be holding on to all those old ways. You're still going to be the same person. Still going to have the same personality. But that lure that the world used to have, that hold that the world used to have on you, and He says, I'll give you the desires of your heart, but He also says, I'll give you a new heart and a new mind, and that heart that you get is His. So those desires of your heart, they're now His desires. It's not the old stuff you used to want to be. When I was young, I wanted to be a famous race car driver. I wanted to do all kinds of stuff, But now, I couldn't see me doing anything but what I'm doing right now. I was saved. I was healed. And I'm experiencing real life, eternal life, now.